So hello to all audience of Metal Zone on radio show on Oxygène Radio. We are in Nantes at Le Ferrailleur with three bands that are going to play Perfect Symmetry, Clogger and EVERGREY, and we've got the huge pleasure to be with two members from the band. So first of all, thanks for taking time to answer some questions for our radio. Can you first please introduce to our audience what you're doing in the band?
My name is Johan NIEMANN, I play bass.
And my name is Henrik DANHAGE and I play guitar.
Okay, thanks. So let's begin this interview with a little bit of history. The band was formed in 1995 in Gothenburg, Sweden. Can you tell us a bit more of the genesis of the band and your view on the band's career and its evolution over the past 30 years?
Yeah, I think that we have been, the short answer is that we have really been able to reduce everything to be EVERGREY more and more. So if it's sad, it's very sad, sadder than ever, and if it's beautiful than ever, or heavy, and we can do that in this EVERGREY thing, and that is the evolution, I think.
Okay, the main thing. And for you, Johan?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's started in Gothenburg. It's been, the band has had many different members, but for the past, I don't know, like 14 years, I would say, it's been, or at least 10 years, has been more or less pretty stable. So it's, the vibe in the band is really good now, and we're happier than ever.
Okay.
And we can also, that is so good that we can still keep going and make it fresh for ourselves, and the fans and the new fans really like it, so it's a win-win.
Okay, cool. How was the metal scene, the rock scene in Gothenburg when you start the band?
It was good. There was another of a couple of bands, but when I was really young, me and Tom didn't have any connection. That came a bit later, and then there was other bands that were upcoming, like Dark Tranquility, In Flames, and there was a whole of At the Gates, but I really didn't have anything to do with that. I was because I was on the other side of town, But it's kind of fantastic how it's melted into what it is, because something that we have Gothenburg sound just because we're from Gothenburg, but we have a Gothenburg sound, but it's not like the other Gothenburg bands. But it's crazy that it's so many bands that is in that little town that are out and doing this.
Okay. Johan or Johan? Johan. You're in the band for 10 years now, I think.
Since 2010, so 14.
14 years.
14. Yeah.
So how did you get involved with the guys?
I played in a band called Therion for many years, and the second tour that I did with Therion, we had EVERGREY as opener.
Okay.
And that's how I met Henrik and Tom. We kind of kept in touch over the years, and then when Henrik and Jonas and Jari, their then bass player, quit, Tom remembered me and asked me to join. So yeah.
Simple like that.
Yeah, simple, pretty simple.
So it was not simple. It was not simple like that because Jonas said no 2 times, 3 times before. So they really had to convince him to come in. You really have to come down and try this, because he was not now. No, I don't want to. I want to play guitar.
Yeah. It was not so easy.
No, because I had more or less stopped playing bass, and I was playing guitar in Tiamat at the time. So I was just getting comfortable, in my new role as a guitar player. But turns out we had a different fish to fry. Yeah.
So they convince you. Okay. So let's talk about now the new album. Of course, this is your 14th album called Theories of Emptiness. Was released in June of this year on Napalm Records. Can you tell us more about the composition process on this album and its artistic direction, if there is one, of course?
A lot of the songs on this album started with riffs from Johan. Then pretty much, especially Jonas and Tom started to put together, maybe raise the tempo, maybe change, put in some, and then me and Rickamo come in and listen with fresh airs, and they keep going, and Johan is just sitting up and just making riffs. And then he comes down and he can listen fresh. So it's just like it's important what everybody thinks. But for this album, it was Johan that came with most of the riffs that started to setting out the feelings of the songs, and that really resonated well with Tom and Jonas for all the magic that they do, that they are the best to do in Evergrey,
Okay.
So
yeah, even though many songs like originated from my ideas, it's still a very democratic process where everyone has to be on board and agree and put in their 2 cents and like I think it should be this way and that way and whatever. So yeah.
And now we have kind of changed as well with that, because before it was very easy to like, but if 4 people think that we are probably right, but now it can be, but that other person can also, and because he can also be right. So why don't listen to that? Because everybody wants the best, and now when we understand that, it's so much more fun as well, because you can really let go of all the egos, like I didn't have any riffs on this one, or he has not come in any riffs or anything. Now it's just like everybody do what they need to do to make this the best, and that is what I think is very cool with Evergrey. They will really put pride into what we do.
So total application of everyone in the process.
Oh, definitely. Okay. Definitely.
So the record is called, as I said, Theories of Emptiness. Are you taking from real-life experiences, or are you looking for a fictional approach?
I mean, the lyrical content obviously is Tom's forte, but he seems to be writing about a lot of from personal experiences. There's not a lot of Dungeons and Dragons or demons and shit. It's just personal experiences but I think he writes from a very universal perspective. So everyone can kind of put their own perspective on the lyrics. And then it can mean different things for different people. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And just the way that he delivers that with his voice then as well is really makes it speak to so many, even though maybe it's open for how you want to read it in.
Okay, thank you. So on this record you also got Jonas from Catatonia. How did that come about? Can you tell us more?
It came about that we started to meet them on airports, on the flights when we would do the festivals some years ago, and Tom and Jonas really hit it off and became really good friends. So it started with that, and then now we've been having another artist on, so it's a fun thing to do. Yes, so Johan had the riffs, and then we just like built on that feeling, And if you do that, it's then everybody have like a clear goal of where we want to be in the feeling. So you don't come with a complete different riff, that's really sets everything off. So
and finding the right person and voice for that particular song is obviously very very important. It has to the voice has to match the vibe of the song. So that was perfect.
Perfect. It was okay. It was perfect. Okay. Let's talk about the sleeve, the cover sleeve. Can you tell us more about the conception of this cover artwork and the choice of these astral elements in it?
Yeah. Well, the artist is Mattias Norén, who did was it In Search of Truth, and did you do some more?
did a couple of them in the beginning for me in the early 2000s. I mean, it was really fun when we put them together. And he like in you know, we were sending emails and stuff like that back, and it was like, come on, it was just So
Yeah.
It's fun that he's back in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's a very, very different cover compared to a lot of previous ones where it's a lot of detail and there's a lot of, you know, they're very complicated or at least very busy covers, and this is very like simple in a way. It's just a head and you know, I like that. It's
There is some details and things.
yeah, I mean, if you wanna, you know, look deeper into it, I'm sure you can find, you know, whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay, it's in the mind. So, I want to have your point of view on the way to consume music nowadays. That has changed a lot over the last decades and many and more, and the increasing inflation of costs inherent to setting up a tour has exploded over the years. How have the band like EVERGREY adapted to these changes?
I don't know. I mean, we're very lucky in that we have a very loyal fan base, and I think most metal bands do.
Yeah.
I think the metal community is very loyal, and if they like a band, then they really like a band, and then they follow and they come to shows, and most importantly, they buy records. They buy records and merchandise. I mean, I don't know how many. Like if you look at the Billboard charts, how many like records they actually sell, like for real. And how much of that is streams? I mean, because yeah, I don't know, but yeah, the metal community is very loyal, and we're very fortunate for that. Obviously, that they still buy records, and you know, vinyl has been over the last few years really made a huge comeback. So yeah, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, and it's just no. I think he said it.
Okay. Yeah. So as the tours goes and getting older from year to year, this is life. How do you approach touring today from a physical point of view? Do you maintain your body to keep it in a top shape when you go on tour for many shows?
Unfortunately, not as we should do. The really good thing with this particular tour is that we have our new drummer, Simon Sandnes, and he is very active, and I think that everybody needs to start doing more every day, because it is very demanding to be up there for 90 minutes and just really, if you give it all, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, take it easy with the drinking, you know, eat. It's important. The older you get, the more important the food gets, you know.
Exactly.
And just enjoy this, man. You know, that is the thing. We have it. Very few people can do what we do, and we are so grateful for that. You know, so that's why
You do that.
it's you know. So it
Yeah, absolutely. Like like you said, the food very important. Sleep. Very important.
Very important.
Yeah, and I mean, for me personally, I really have to, like, an hour before showtime, I have to start like stretching and stuff, because I noticed there was one show on this tour so far that where I didn't do that, and I didn't really feel like my body had woken up until like halfway through the show. I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I really have to stretch and, you know, make sure that, you know, the muscles are awake and ready for business.
Important. Yeah, very important.
Nobody's getting any younger. So
No, I know. That's life.
As a matter of fact, this is the youngest day that we have.
tomorrow you're older. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, after crossing almost with the band 3 decades on the metal scene and industry. What advice would you give to emerging artists looking to make the mark on this scene?
Find people that you really like. Set a goal early, and set a goal that is much higher than you ever think you're gonna accomplish. And have fun and put the hours in, because it doesn't matter. If I would have put the hours that I put into guitar playing and thinking of guitars into football, I would probably be very good at football as well, or painting or whatever. It's the hours. So just do something that you love, you know, and that you want to do.
Not for the money.
Because it's you're not gonna feel rich just because you have money.
I agree. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, find people that you like. That's very, and are like-minded. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if they're, you know, good.
Yeah.
As long as you're, you know, on that path together,
Together.
you can make fucking greatness happen if you just stick to it, you know. And like you said, putting in the hours, practice, make sure you're as good as you can.
Yeah.
You know.
And have fun, having fun. Yeah, okay. So, back in the past, when you were a child or teenager, can you tell us in which musical environment did you grow up, and does it affect in a way, I don't know, you would say to me, the music you are playing for many years now?
Yeah, I grew up with an older brother, and he introduced me to a lot of music, like, you know, Kiss, Iron Maiden, Scorpions, all of that stuff, and you know, that's still, that kind of musical upbringing is still part of my musical DNA. You know, it's still, you know, Iron Maiden, Metallica, you know, and that's never gonna go away, I think, because it's such an early thumbprint. That's never gonna.
That excitement, it's very hard to get that now, and it's not that the new music is not good. It's just it doesn't affect you the same way because you've heard so much stuff. But back then, you know, the impact is like you can even remember. Sometimes when you put on a song, you just I remember I was over at that train station there and just waiting for this. It's just incredible.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we arrive at the end of the interview. Did you have something to add and the word of the end?
Yeah, I mean, we're very thankful for all the fans and, you know, that keep coming out to the shows and buying merch and records and everything, and just, you know, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's we're looking forward. This is nice, and thank you for spending your time listening to us talking. And yeah, man, you know, it's a blessing, and we're gonna have so much fun. It's a sold-out show today. We're gonna tear down the roof today, you know, and get that energy going, you know. So everybody go home and feel, you know, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you very much. This was EVERGREY in Le Ferrailleur in Nantes for Métal Zone Oxygène Radio. We wish you a lot of good things, of course, for you, for the band, for your families, for your friends. Have fun, take care, and as I say, always at the end of the interview, don't forget to laugh every day. It's important. Thank you. Bye-bye.